Retailers in West investigated for increasing prices of goods immediately after 2013 budget announcement. Air Pacific flights delays affects hundreds of passengers. And Water Authority to work on tight schedule next year after given less than expected in 2013 budget. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. The Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority isn't taking any chances against unscrupulous retailers who have quickly taken advantage of price increases announced in next year's budget. The authority has stopped 3 retailers who increased their cigarette prices by $1 immediately after the budget was delivered. Mika Longa with this report.
FBC is clamping down on a number of retailers in the Western Division following complaints they had already increased prices of items. And in fact, the new prices should come into effect from 1st January 2013.
In fact, there's 3. There was one that was reported to us on Friday. We're actually looking at another 2.
The retailers are accused of charging new prices on current stock, reflecting the increased duty rate in the 2013 budget.
We have received complaints from the West. A certain individual that certain retailers are charging excessive retail price of cigarettes. Realistically, you should just talk about 10 to 15 cents increase on a particular packet.
While FIRCA investigators are on the backs of the suspected retailers, the authority is also keeping a watchful eye on other businesses who won't reduce prices despite a reduction in import duty.
The intention really is to make sure that the consumers realize that they actually benefit from the reduction in prices. If that is not happening, then it defeats the whole purpose of reducing those duties.
The question is, how can the relevant authorities put an end to this unscrupulous behavior of such retailers? This isn't the first time and probably won't be the last. Are current efforts enough? Well, that's for authorities to answer. Mika Longa, FBC News.
Air Pacific is facing major flight disruptions after its 747 jumbo aircraft developed mechanical problems in Sydney on Sunday. As a result, some Sydney and Los Angeles flights were delayed, affecting hundreds of passengers. Christopher Chand reports.
Passengers affected by flight cancellations on Sunday will be arriving later tonight on an additional flight by Air Pacific. 2 days later, over 300 passengers were affected following the grounding of its 747 jumbo jet on Sunday. Engineers are still trying to fix the problem in Sydney. In a statement, Air Pacific says they are still working on returning the aircraft to service, and due to this, they will be delaying their Los Angeles flight by 8 hours. The national carrier sent one of its 2 jumbo jets for maintenance check to Singapore earlier this month, and for the time being, it has leased this Euro-Atlantic aircraft. This aircraft was sent to Sydney this afternoon after a few hours delay as a supplementary flight to cater for passengers who were affected on Sunday. Passengers have been frustrated with flight delays over the last few days. Air Pacific has not indicated when the 747 will be ready and when its flights will normalize. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
The Water Authority of Fiji will be working on a tight budget come 2013. It's only been allocated $110 million for next year and will not be recruiting new employees. As Mika Longa reports, the authority will also not be needing foreign contractors next year.
$8 million short of its initial $118 million request for next year's budget, the Water Authority of Fiji is determined to do all it can within its means for water and sewerage. Its targets for next year are to get as many people connected to its new sewerage reticulation, increase the capacity of treatment plants to take extra load of increasing population and development, get sewer and wastewater treated before disposal, reduce water loss, regulate water pressure, and reduce intermittent water supply.
We started, I think, close to 40, a number of areas around Fiji that suffered from intermittent supply. We progressively reduced this now to the low 30s. So there's still a long way to go. The infrastructure is already there. Basically getting the water to them is a struggle at the moment because of the demand. And because the zoning perhaps were not done well in the past.
The Water Authority has invested heavily in modernizing its monitoring systems. However, it has no plans to expand its workforce.
No, we actually have reduced our workforce from last year, and we like to see that progressively reduced. When we modernize our system, when we put in place information systems and systems or smart systems that help us do work efficiently, There may be areas where we'll need to cut down our human resources.
The WAF CEO is also looking at cutting back on hiring foreign contractors to carry out its infrastructure developments next year.
We want to reduce that progressively, but there's some good companies locally that have done work for us in the past.
Nikolonga, FBC News.
Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama has been briefed on the plight of Fiji nationals serving in the British Army. Bainimarama met with Veterans Aid CEO Dr. Hugh Milroy and Fiji's High Commissioner to the UK Solomara in London yesterday. Eleanor Rangaivu has the details.
The meeting comes as the Prime Minister is in London for the International Sugar Organization seminar.
What was interesting, he had very much had a clear grasp of the problems facing the Fijian soldiers and their families in this country, and was obviously very, very concerned about what was going on. He was very pleased to learn of the progress we had made.
Dr. Milroy says he is glad the Prime Minister wants to be in the loop on developments taking place with regards to the plight of Fijians in the British Army.
He was briefed by myself and Mr. Solomara, the High Commissioner, and he asked to be kept informed of the next steps and any problems that were developing.
Last week, the UK Home Office stated it has reviewed the rule that barred foreign and Commonwealth soldiers from settling in the UK if they have even a small disciplinary conviction in the military. Though this announcement brings a sigh of relief to many Fijians, there are some who are still facing problems.
Over the weekend, we had two serving soldiers get in touch with us. They've got some problems in service, and we can't really do much for those who are currently serving. But what's interesting is I think they need to make sure that the British forces administration systems really do get a grip of the situation.
Meanwhile, Isimeli Mbalewa is counting his lucky stars. He gets to stay with his wife and two daughters in the UK after the military court threw out the minor disciplinary conviction against him that stopped him from settling in the UK. Eleanor Rangaivu, FBC News.
Fiji is confident the Generalized System of Preferences Subcommittee at the U.S. Trade Representative Office will make a decision in our favor. The U.S. has removed Fiji from the scheme that provides duty-free entry for many of our export in the U.S. market. The step was taken after local trade unions filed a petition against Fiji. Fiji has presented its case to the GSP Subcommittee and is awaiting a reply.
They will let us know what further opportunities for dialogue, meeting, or further submissions there will be. But this is a long process.
Coming up after the break, 30 new sexually transmitted infections recorded by Ministry of Health as Fiji launches World AIDS Day today. Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. 30 new sexually transmitted infections have been recorded by the Ministry of Health as of June this year. This is expected to further increase by the end of the year. Akusita Tale was at the launch of World AIDS Day today.
Fiji's latest HIV statistics continues to rise, reminding us of the need to continue to support the fight against HIV/AIDS. HIV/AIDS Ambassador, the President, Ratu Epeli, says this is of great concern as 449 HIV cases have been reported as of June.
Over 70% of the total was reported to be through heterosexual transmission, and the epidemic evidently affecting our young people, with over 50% falling within the age group of 15 to 29. The youth, the bulk of the labor force, the most sexually active and the most vulnerable.
Gone are the days of taboo, and there is a need to establish modern thinking. This is the only way we can get past our old and younger generations to get messages across.
We really need to help them to change their perception and behavior towards this pandemic. The greater and meaningful involvement of those who are dealing with the virus is vitally important in our response to HIV and AIDS.
Celebrations will get underway in the north, west and in Lakemba in Lau, with the main celebration for Suva will see a red tie fashion show this Friday and a march through the city on Saturday. Aksita Tale, FBC News.
More job opportunities are expected to come out of Papua New Guinea. Fiji's High Commissioner to PNG, Romanu Tikutikodha, says they are working with PNG officials to progress this employment scheme. Apisalome Dhoka reports.
Tikutikodha will be visiting provinces in Papua New Guinea to look into areas where Fiji can provide the labor.
What the High Commission is doing now, we are trying to get in touch with the job providers, and those are the contractors that are in the field. Apparently you have a number of recruiting agencies in PNG, about 5 international recruiting agencies that are recruiting people to work in the various sectors here in PNG.
Speaking to FBC News in Papua New Guinea, Tikutikodha says 2 areas they have identified are human resources and engineers. He says bilateral relations between the 2 countries have also moved up another level.
And one of the areas that we are very much interested in was the removal of, was concerning trade in terms of the removal of the 400 items in the PNG negative list. Okay, that is one of them. And another area is the skills movement scheme. We realize that that has been endorsed.
Tikutikodha says all those who will want to find employment in PNG will have to follow proper channels, adding the High Commission should be aware of all dealings. Apisalome Dhoka, FBC News.
Residents living along Falvey Road in Raiwanga are disappointed with the rubbish thrown in their area by outsiders at night. They say it's been over a month now. Some unknown people have been polluting the settlement.
It's a normal trend now. Each day when these people come to put their rubbish in the skip bin, they find the area polluted. They say the Suva City Council cleans the area every day. However, it ends up being polluted over and over again.
People from outside are putting up the rubbish inside this garbage bin, and it gets full. And the people from inside used to say cannot use this place. And it's over. When it's full, someone put the light.
Some people are using the bins to dispose of dead animals, which pose health risks to people living nearby.
Dead animal too, they put the last Sunday they put the dead animal. That's why somebody put the fire inside the garbage bin.
Meanwhile, the Suva City Council says it is trying its best to overcome this problem.
We have been running our awareness education in the settlement, but we are faced with challenges that certain people are still abusing the skip bin, which is provided purely for the disposal of garbage and nothing else.
If this trend continues, the council will seek assistance from the police to trace those who continue to pollute the settlement. Sharin Lata, FBC News.
Piracy is a disease which, if left out of control, could cause serious harm. This could now be a thing of the past with the Fiji Intellectual Property Office, now responsible for giving the final say whether a DVD dealer be provided with a license or not. As Bainimarama reports, this will come into effect next year when DVD dealers renew their licenses.
Fiji Intellectual Property Office will be meeting with DVD dealers around the country to discuss how the new licensing regulation will prohibit future downloads. However, a big concern is the yet-to-be-proven pornography.
The dark side of the pirates in Fiji is not drugs, it's not prostitution, it's pornography. That is not a proven, it is a proven fact.
FBC News took to the streets to ask people what they think of piracy.
We want the quality movies and original, no scenes to be deleted.
No piracy, but original. Selling a pirate copies is not good for, it's just the same as stealing.
The concern, however, is that those who are charged for selling pirated CDs and DVDs receive minimum fine. This has prompted FIPO to organize a workshop with the magistrates and judges next year.
It is possible under a criminal offence, which is copyright infringement, it's criminal, to take from the accused what they've got in their pocket.
The next time DVD dealers renew their license, they will have to agree to the terms and conditions provided for by FIPO, or they will have to close their business for good. Bainimarama, FBC News.
Investigations continue into the alleged misuse of military funds at the Queen Elizabeth Barracks. RFMF Chief of Staff Brigadier General Muhammad Aziz says the 5 officers involved have been suspended. FBC News understands the Ministry for Finance conducted an audit at QEB resulting in the investigations. The amount of money involved is yet to be confirmed. Students of Jane Orion College were today reminded to have faith in themselves. Parents and old scholars came in big numbers today to be part of the annual school prize-giving ceremony. Chief guest, Acting Prime Minister Ayaz Said Qayyum, stressed the importance of self-development to the students.
Because if you do not develop those very basic characteristics as an individual, you will not necessarily do well in life when you become an adult, when you become a parent. You see a lot of adults who may be employed and how they take bribes or how they give bribes. And a lot of it has been to do with the fact they do not understand necessarily the difference between right and wrong.
And it's that time again. Shelvin is here with Tuesday Night Sports, and what's the latest?
Yes, Jackie, it's all about the Fiji Sevens team. We have all the latest coming up. Also tonight, basketballers start Oceania Championship on a high. Those stories and more after the break. "620 games later, the Digicel Fiji Sevens team is gearing up for yet another start of a tournament. The side are tipped to have it easy in pool play, but the coaching staff remain wary and are banking on the newcomers. Indra Singh with more.
Fiji looks the top bet from its pool to make the quarterfinals of the Dubai Sevens, as the odds favour our Gladiators. The side will be playing in its 111th tournament, and their debut in the series was in Dubai in 1999. Even laced with 7 newcomers, there is no fear from our coaching staff, who believe the 12-member squad is ready.
They knew in this first time in the series, but these guys play top competitions locally.
Fiji has already gained an upper hand, as the management say the weather is on their side, with temperatures reaching 26 degrees. A scrimmage against England is planned for tomorrow, as the side wraps up training before the start of the tournament on Friday. Dere and his brigade know they need to be amongst the top finishers if there is any chance of winning the overall series in May. Indra Singh, FBC Sports.
Despite only having won one of their matches on the European Tour, the Flying Fijians rugby side has improved its world ranking this week. The side which beat Georgia 24-19 on Sunday is now ranked 13th, taking over from Canada, who have dropped down 1 place. However, Fiji remains behind Pacific rivals Samoa and Tonga, with the Samoans now 8th in the world and the Tongans 11th. New Zealand remains on top, followed by South Africa, Australia, France and England. The Fiji men's and women's teams have started their campaign at the Oceania Youth Basketball Championships on a high. The men have won their battle against New Caledonia, winning 81-76. In the women's match, Fiji proved too strong for Guam, winning 64-31. The Fiji men play PNG today, while the women are up against New Zealand later tonight. Fiji's 3 AFL test matches against Nauru may have not given them the desired results, but the event has put Fiji further on the international scene for Aussie rules footy. And next up is the Oceania Youth Championship in Suva, where Elena McDonald finds out that Fiji hopes to make a stronger comeback.
This group of players created South Pacific history by playing the only other AFL international outside of Australia. And it's a moment they will all remember from this day forward.
The 2012 Nauru Chiefs, they're the pioneers of this great venture by Fiji, AFL Fiji, so that gives Nauru a chance to go overseas every year now.
Fiji may have suffered 3 heavy losses to Nauru, but the experience has shown our potential in footy.
Fijians are basically, I think, are perfect for Australian rules football. Their agility with their height, their ability to jump high, to sprint, to fast, to move around the park, their general fitness, it's perfect for Australian rules football.
The seniors have had their go. Come mid-December, the national under-15 side will get the chance to turn the tables.
The guys have seen what Nauru is capable of now, and I feel that Nauru is at a stage where they've showed us what they've got, and we've showed only partially what Fiji has to offer.
This is just the start for many things to come for AFL in Fiji. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
And that was your Tuesday night sports. It's time for business.
A symposium on reinforcing consumer safety and enhancing the knowledge of consumers was held today. Relevant organizations and institutions looked at ways to better address consumer grievances. Ritika Pratap reports.
Traders, financial institutions and organizations dealing with consumers met today to look at ways to strengthen consumer protection and redress mechanism. It has been discovered that many consumers are not aware of their rights or what needs to be done if they have a complaint against someone.
We would like to see how effective the redress mechanisms are and also to raise awareness on the various redress mechanisms that are available for consumers to use. Because we have found that sometimes consumers are not even aware that if something went wrong, where can they go for redress?
Kumar says there are mechanisms in place, however, they are yet to find how effective they are.
How do consumers know what they are getting? Because consumers, when they go into the marketplace, they depend on the market to provide their needs and wants. And in that, they also trust that whatever products they will see and the instructions or claims made on the product is correct.
Meanwhile, the Commerce Commission says the symposium has given stakeholders a chance to talk on what they are doing in terms of consumer issues.
And try and work out a way forward whereby there could be coordination in terms of what is done by one entity and how the others can support. Two is also to basically raise consumer awareness.
Complaints against landlords and tenants always top the complaints list. The Consumer Council has received $2.3 million worth of complaints until October, out of which 60% has been recovered. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
That lovely time again, Genevieve joins us with the weather.
Thanks, Jackie. It was generally fine today with major centres experiencing sunshine and some cloudy periods. Suva and Savu-Savu, however, did get some rain. Taking a look at the charts, Ba was the hottest today, recording a temperature of 33 degrees at 4 this afternoon, while Autoka, Nandi and Lambasa teamed up on 31, with Suva the coolest at 29 degrees. As for tomorrow, rain is forecasted for all major centres, so it might be wise to have those gumboots on. And for the further outlook, I'm afraid it's bad news if you're hoping for clear skies. The Weather Office is predicting rain and thunderstorms with moderate